Hello, I am Henry Ayarbenison. Today, I'd like to introduce you to my balance mod for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As you may know, this is a mod of the original Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Many fighters are playable in Ultimate. I am sure you are all eager to find out how everyone has changed. So we made a video to showcase some changes appearing in the game. Please, take a look. That's right, every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is being fixed. Indeed, absolutely every Super Smash Bros. Fighter, ever, is being fixed, regardless of how good they are. We believe that's what players need, so we made the dream a reality. Any way you slice it, this is the most balanced version of Smash Ultimate. No matter what character you choose, they're sure to be able to keep up if you're good as a player. Now, let's take a look at certain fighters to show how they've changed from the original Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Kirby's still easy to use, but we did increase his air mobility to make him more in line with how he feels in the Kirby games. His stone ability also puts shields multiple times. Donkey Kong may look the same, but his moves are almost all much safer on hit. Fox's neutral air deals more knockback and sends at a lower angle. While this removes some of his ability to kill confirm, it also gives him better tech chasing, and his down air is a combo tool. His side special also travels much less distance, but he can act out of it much sooner. Overall, Fox is just as fast and flashy as ever. Ike's forward air is much stronger, the way it was in Smash games before Ultimate. Once again, his outfits from Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn return, and you can use both versions. The two different versions are even voiced a little differently.
Prepare yourself.
Pikachu's up air deals more knockback, making it much more susceptible to directional influence and combos. However, it also has less landing lag, so you can still combo off of it. Pikachu's landing animations have all been adjusted to allow you to hit it before it gets a chance to act after landing with an aerial. Pikachu also has a jab finisher if you attack with the move multiple times. But don't worry, it can still hit multiple times separately. Luigi now has his old traction back, allowing him to slide extremely far when he moves. The power of his aerials has also been adjusted, so while he can't take your stock off a single opening, his combo game is much more expressive, and combined with his movement, this allows for many hilarious yet technical interactions. Jigglypuff will no longer turn around while using her back air, and she can jump out of her rollout attack while charging it, or after it hits. Sonic's down tilt and up tilt both have less end lag, while his up air has been fixed so you can no longer fall out of it while Sonic is rising. He also has a new down air based on the Sonic Eagle from Sonic Battle. These changes, when combined, give Sonic a much more flashy combo game. There will also be changes to his specials to make him a more aggressive character, so stay put. Captain Falcon's turnaround animation has been fixed and his dash speed has been increased. His rapid boost also now hits consistently. These changes, along with many other fixes, allow him to finally regain his old speed. Yoshi's egg roll has been reworked and he now starts moving much faster. Mewtwo can now cancel its teleport, but be careful, if you miss an attack after using it, you'll be punished hard. Its tail hitbox has also been fixed. King Dedede's up air has a higher angle, his forward smash hitboxes are more consistent, and his Gordo will consistently stick to walls. Wario's Waft has been weakened when it isn't fully charged, so you're going to need to charge it all the way in order for it to really be powerful. Up tilt can't combo as well, but it is a stronger anti-air, and his jab now has less end lag, allowing it to be used in combos. His bike also no longer has a respawn timer, but he still can't use it multiple times without landing unless he gets hit. Dr. Mario's speed is slightly increased, and Dr. Tornado is much better for recovery.
Hands off my...
Greninja's down taunt can be acted out of much faster, and his up smash has been fixed. Marth's forward and back air have their range restored to what they used to be. His up air lasts longer, and his jab now has Geo follow-up. Mr. Game & Watch's up special comes out slower, but he also gets a lot of his old win boxes back. This makes him much more creative and entertaining to watch. Little Mac's forward, back, and up aerials all auto-cancel in a short hop. While Little Mac is still no air fighter, this makes his grounded combo stronger, since while, say, down tilt to fair isn't true, fair to down tilt is, and if you try to air dodge the down tilt, you're in for a world of pain. Also, his KO meter feels differently now. Instead of gaining meter for taking and landing hits, he feels it through counter hits. If another fighter is in the startup of any grounded normal attack, and Mac hits them with any of his tilts, jab, or dash attack, he will fill 1/3 of his KO meter. Bear in mind that right now, the visual won't update until after he lands another hit. Be careful though, because he will also lose 1/3 if he gets hit. Since strong Little Mac players will probably be able to punish players for mashing buttons and fill his meter very often as a result, KO Punch has also been weakened. Instead of a traditional jab, Incineroar now uses a fake grab which has less end lag than a real one. Not only does this allow for scary mix-ups, fitting for a grappler, but he can still cancel it directly into the second hit of the attack, which is capable of landing counter hits. If Incineroar hits you with counter hit jab 2, jab 3 will become noticeably stronger. This concept is based on the move Sucker Punch from the Pokemon series, so we've also made it a dark type move. Ganondorf's down special is now a much better move for getting past projectiles, and he now has his old up smash attack from Smash 4, replacing his up tilt. Finally, you can cancel his jab into dash after hitting with it, allowing for new combos. Its knockback and hit stun have been heavily adjusted, so you have just enough time to spot dodge out of the way of certain moves after getting hit. I wouldn't recommend doing it all the time though. Piranha Plant's moves are harder to fall out of. Its back air has less end lag, and it can swivel much more while using its down special. Roy's side special has been weakened, but only on the ground. If you hit it in the air, it's just as strong as ever, and the rest of the move is better at connecting into it. It is now possible for heroes forward and back air to be a critical hit. Don't worry though, the odds of this happening are now 1 in 32 instead of 1 in 8, and these crits are much weaker than the ones on his smash attacks. Also, his up smash now hits on the sides better. There are many other changes to Hero, some of which still haven't been implemented, so stay tuned. That said, here's a small demonstration of something we've planned. Cloud's neutral air hitbox has been increased to cover the whole sword, and his grab is faster and has more range. In fact, almost every normal grab in the game is better. In addition, Cloud is now fully voiced in English.
Not interested.
Speaking of matching animations, all 5 of Meta Knight's aerials now match their animations more closely, allowing him to truly feel like an aerial sword fighter. No. Olimar's Pikmin no longer take self-damage when they are thrown. There are plenty more things about him that don't work, and unfortunately technical limitations stop me from addressing the rest of them, but rest assured, fixes are coming. Ridley is bigger. Bayonetta's playstyle has been reworked almost entirely. Rather than focusing on ladder combos, she is now designed to combo you more horizontally, as she no longer takes extra landing lag from using her special moves in the air. This gives her much more potential to rack up damage, but gravity is no longer pulling you towards her, so why not just SDI? Wolf's voice lines and idle animation have been restored to their Brawl counterparts. His moves may not be any different, but he feels much more feral as a result. King K. Rool puts on his crown faster after picking it up, and his forward and back air have some intangibility. Fun fact, while the original Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was being developed, all of King K. Rool's aerials were intangible, except for his neutral air. However, this was removed for all of them except for his up air in the final game. Villager's Rapid Jab has 2 different ways to finish the combo, one where he punches with his right hand and one where he punches with his left. If he punches with his right hand, it's a combo starter, but if he punches with his left hand, it's a kill move. Ryu and Ken have had their proximity detection fixed, Tatsumaki Senpu Fyaku has less end lag when used in the air, focus attack's armor threshold has been increased, light tilts all come out on the frame they're supposed to, it is more difficult to fall out of his Shoryuken, his proximity heavy jab has been adjusted to be worse for racking damage but better for killing, and many more. There are too many changes to talk about today, which is only fitting given that the show does have so many moves. Zero Suit Samus's flip jump becomes intangible later, and her Nair has slightly more landing time. However, she can use flip jump again if she is hit out of it, and her down tilt now combos for longer. Terry's crack shoot now has true combos when you do the light command input version of the move. It can still be blocked if you try to use it out of jab, but if you know that they will block it, you can instead go for a grab, which is also stronger. This gives good players more of a reason to use moves other than Power Dunk, even if Power Dunk is also more consistent. Lucario can build up his own damage by holding his up taunt. You may gain aura by doing this, but you are still at more of a risk of being KO'd, so be careful. Joker's Rebellion gauge takes longer to fill, now filling at 100% instead of 75%. Don't worry though, Arsene himself isn't weaker, only his counter which can no longer be used out of hit stun. Also, if Joker uses his Rebel's Guard and doesn't get hit, he will lose some of his meter. You may have noticed how some Echo fighters haven't been shown off thus far, and there's a reason for that. In Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Championship Edition, all of the Echoes who were nearly identical to their original fighters have been altered. While they still have many similarities, there's more reason than ever to have a preference. Dark Samus moves slower than Samus, and is all around a floatier character. While Samus has been changed to be more aggressive and fast-paced, gaining her old dash attack that allows her to combo in exchange for her old charge shot, Dark Samus has a more defensive playstyle, with more control over homing missiles and retaining the current charge shot. These changes reflect the pace of the different types of Metroid games. While Samus is faster, like in the classic 2D Metroid games, Dark Samus is slower and more methodical, like in the Prime series. Samus also has a new up tilt attack with an animation based on the melee counter from Metroid Samus Returns, while Dark Samus is planning to receive a new down smash that uses space on tentacles. Did you know that Dark Samus is a girl? Daisy moves faster than Peach, and some of her moves are a bit stronger, which reflects her more energetic personality. She loses her float in exchange for these strengths, but performing a float will automatically halt her fastball no matter where she is in the jump. We also plan on giving her a few moves based on previous entries in the Super Smash Bros. Series, such as her melee up tilt and flying up air. This leads to a character who has an entirely different playstyle from Peach, but is still very technical and has a powerful combo. Dark Pit uses his staff for certain moves, such as his neutral air and down tilt. This results in different properties for some of his moves. In addition, his up special may not go as far as Pit's, but he can cancel out of it, and his down special does not have shield properties but can damage opponents. Simon and Richter borrow many moves from each other, so both of them have been changed to be better at using the moves that they brought to the table. For example, while Simon's axe can be used for better traps and he has more control over its angle, Richter's uppercut travels more distance and is better for recovery. Some of the differences currently can't be added, but we hope you enjoy finding out which Belmont is for you. Now let's take a sneak peek at the new and returning techniques that you can pull off during battles. Directional Air Dodge enhances mobility. This time around, it takes inspiration from Rivals of Aether, where you'll stop in place at the end of the move before being able to act. It may still be easy to punish, but since you won't fall toward the blast zone during the vulnerability frames, it can be used offstage without fear of being KO'd. Note that this does not apply to normal air dodging. By tapping the shield button at the beginning of a dash, you can execute what's called a micro dash. This cancels your dash into a sped up version of your run break animation, and you can act faster than you would after a normal dash. If you thought perfect pivoting was effective in Super Smash Bros. 4, this gives many of the benefits of perfect pivots while being easier to execute and keeping you facing in the same direction. Since this uses your run break animation, it can also be cancelled into a run skid, which lets you pivot cancel much faster than before. The Wavedash makes a return from Super Smash Bros. Melee. While it isn't as strong as it was in that game, being slightly slower than using a regular dash, it allows for more control over the distance you move, and the ability to wave dash off of platforms allows for them to be once again a key part of your gameplay. Speaking of platforms, shield dropping has been reintroduced. By tilting your shield down, you will drop through a platform without needing to release your shield. This especially comes in handy now that you can easily perform it by tilting your shield down while holding B or multiple shield buttons. Also, you can drop through a platform during your run and micro dash animations. We've made some changes to the perfect pivot or parry system. After performing a parry, you will always take the same amount of hit lag no matter what move hit you. This makes timing a punish easier after landing a parry, since you will always have the same amount of lag. Also, after landing one parry, landing more parries becomes slightly easier, since hitting your shield button will automatically perform a shield release rather than needing to release shield manually. This makes it possible to parry some multi-hit attacks like Zelda and Pichu's forward smash, which were previously impossible to fully parry in the base game. There are more changes planned, but this is all we can do so far. Shield release has been lowered from 11 frames down to 7. Or has it? When your shield has been hit, it takes 7 frames to release it, which makes it easier to punish moves out of shield. However, if your shield hasn't been hit, it stays at 11, meaning that the shield button is still a commitment. If you try to grab another player while they're in their grab animation, the grabs will cancel each other out, even if one player wasn't capable of grabbing it. In other fighting games, this is called a throw tech, but here I think the term grab break is more appropriate. It makes it impossible to hit someone with a projectile attack, then grab them before they can dodge. Collision boxes are now smaller than they were in the base game. You still can't run through opponents, but they need to be much farther inside of your hurt box before getting pushed out. However, pivot grabbing now disables character collision, so even though you can't run through people, the ability to get behind grounded opponents while jumping is back. All in all, if you add up all the changes we're making, there could be 674. I hope you're looking forward to some serious matches. In fact, you can actually experience them for yourself right now. Due to technical limitations, my vision of the game cannot be fully realized yet, so I'm going to be taking the time to translate all of my code from C++ to Rust in order to use a better framework where Championship Edition can be truly complete. Seeing as how this will take a long time to do, we want to gather feedback on all of the changes that have been implemented so far, which is why we're releasing the Championship Edition open beta on Game Banana as soon as this presentation ends. We hope you understand that the mod is incomplete, but we believe you will enjoy what is there so far. We hope you're as excited as we are. Our team will continue working hard until the mod is finished. We really appreciate your support. We've made balancing every single fighter ever our #1 goal, so I'm kind of hoping you aren't expecting too many new challenges. However, we do have one more announcement. Please, take a look.